This is Ayr Auld Kirk, standing on the banks of the River Ayr. There's two exceptional claims to fame, one of which is it was built in 1654 at the time of the Commonwealth, one of the very few churches to be built during that time. It was constructed under the orders of Oliver Cromwell, because the old parish church, St John's the Baptist's, was located in what was now Ayr Citadel, that is his new fort. The church there was used as a lookout tower and as a store. The second claim to fame was the family church of the Burns family. Robert Burns himself was baptised here in 1759 by the Rev Dalrymple, who he called Dalrymple Mild in one of his poems. Although the family is associated with Ayr Auld Kirk, the kirk was a ruin at the time. An exceptional memorial stands here to the Covenanting minister, the Reverend Adair. He's shown in the statue in a kneeling position. It's said that he knelt on Ayr Auld Brig, praying that a plague ship would not berth at that airport, and his prayers were answered. In 1814, a Covenanter memorial was placed here by the Trades Guild. 8 Covenanters had been captured after the Battle of Rullion Green in 1666, which took place in the Pentland Hills. They were brought down to Ayr, tried and found guilty, and were going to be hanged. However, the local hangman refused to do so. After much discussion, they said if any one of them would carry out the act, he would be set free. One of them, Cornelius Anderson, agreed and did so. He also hanged 2 Covenanters at Irvine. Eventually he went to Ireland, where he died in a mysterious fire. Many of the Smith-Neale family of Swindridgemuir and Barnweill are buried here. One of them, a Major General, has a statue also at Ayr Town Square. He's very controversial for his actions during the Indian Mutiny. James Smith, the father of Scottish Botany, is buried here. He lived near Minishant, had his own botanic gardens with over 2,000 species growing there. It was in a very out-of-the-way place and was nicknamed Find Me Oot. The church was built on land occupied, it's said, by the Greyfriars, the Franciscans, though some references suggest it was the Blackfriars, who were the Dominicans. Nothing now remains of their buildings at all. When the church was being built, it said it was paid for in 3 separate lots. First of all, when the land was purchased, then when the foundations were in place, and finally the final part of the 1,000 merks was paid when the building was completed. The church has been greatly altered and extended. Originally, it was very austere, very plain, lacking decoration, typical of the Presbyterian beliefs of the time. In the churchyard, there are an exceptional number of old gravestones, some of which are highly ornamented. There's also a Lych Gate present. This is not typical for Scotland. This one dates from 1656, and inside it is kept one of the mort safes. These could be hired out, and their job was to prevent the actions of the resurrectionists or body snatchers.